Hey, thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. I'm Derek Wetmore. I'm going to share with you my 5 thoughts from Sunday's Twins-Cubs game. I'll go rapid fire here because I've got a podcast to record. Phil Mackey and I are going to go record the Touch 'em All podcast as we do every Sunday evening. If you like baseball analysis, check that one out on iTunes. But let's get into the 5 thoughts. Thought number 1. It was a pretty tightly contested ball game on Sunday. Pretty entertaining baseball game from my perspective. And things unraveled for the Twins in the 8th inning. That was in the bullpen by then. Kyle Gibson had gone 5 innings. Ryan Presley 2 scoreless innings. And then things fell apart. They came apart at the seams for Aaron Thompson and Michael Tonkin. Collectively, they gave up 6 runs, including a grand slam off the bat of Dexter Fowler. That really put the Twins in a lopsided score, obviously. The final score probably didn't dictate the pace of the game or anything like that. The Twins were in this thing until the 8th inning despite a dominant Jake Arrieta on Sunday. But a big number in the 8th inning is going to make that final score look pretty ugly, and it did on Sunday. Thought number 2, I mentioned Jake Arrieta. He was great on Sunday. Complete game shutout for Arrieta. He gave up just 4 hits and actually also only faced 4 batters more than the minimum. The fewest batters you can face in a game is 27. He only had to face 31 to get through the Twins lineup. 3 times and some change to get through all 9 innings of scoreless ball. The Twins put, I wouldn't call it a threat together in the first inning, but Brian Dozier led the game off with a single, then a 4-6-3 double play, a double to the wall for Joe Mauer out in left field. He hit the ball with authority the other way in his first at-bat, and then a line out by Trevor Plouffe, and you started to think, well, okay, they put together some good at-bats. Maybe the Twins can push a couple of runs across here today. Nope, Jake Arrieta shut her down after that. 8 great innings afterwards, and finished with a complete game 4-hit shutout. And that was really the story of the game on Sunday. Thought number 3, after a kind of a tough first week for Byron Buxton at the plate, he had a couple of firsts. His first target field hit and his first major league stolen base. I know everyone wants to kind of get caught up on this slow start for Byron Buxton, but it's really not that unexpected for a 21-year-old who didn't have that much experience above A-ball at the time of his promotion, to struggle with some of the breaking pitches outside of the zone, struggle reading the break on some of these pitches, some of the secondary stuff that's just way, way better than some of the pitches he's seen, especially in the Southern League. The competition is just not quite the same as it is in the majors, especially against a guy who's as good as Jake Arrieta was here on Sunday. So Buxton off to a slow start, but let's not panic. Just as I said, let's not pretend like he's going to be some, he's not going to turn around the franchise overnight at the time of his call-up. I'm also saying let's be careful before jumping off the Byron Buxton bandwagon. If you were on board that a week ago, you should still be after a tough week. Picks up a single Sunday and a stolen base. I think there's going to be plenty more where that came from in Byron Buxton's career, even if he doesn't stick around in the majors this first time. He might need some more minor league seasoning, but slow down on the panicking for Byron Buxton after just 1 week in the majors as a 21-year-old. Even to get there is impressive. Keep that in mind. Thought number 4, Kyle Gibson was good but not efficient on Sunday. He went 5 innings, needed 102 pitches to do it. Got out of a second inning jam and said that before the game, in his warm-up session in the bullpen, he felt better than he's ever felt in his career. He said this was the best warm-up that he's ever had in a Twins uniform. Made a little mechanical adjustment that's allowing him to get out front on the ball a little bit more, and he thinks that's going to help him going forward. He said it helped his pitches some on Sunday, but he, like I said, just wasn't efficient. A couple of big pitch count innings, and that leads to getting chased after 5 and turning it over to the bullpen for 4 more innings. That proved to be disastrous for the Twins on Sunday. Kyle Gibson will look to rebound from that in his next start out. Thought number 5, I like the thinking from Paul Molitor for his lineup decision to put Eduardo Nunez, a right-handed hitter, at designated hitter on Sunday. Kenny Vargas obviously struggling quite a bit in his second tour with the Twins this season. But beyond that, Paul Molitor said not only was he looked past the righty-righty matchup. Ordinarily, you'd favor the pitcher in that setting, try to stack the lineup with lefties. But Nunez, he said, puts together his best at-bats against hard throwers and guys with lateral movement, that is side to side, instead of up and down, sinking kind of movement. Nunez has been good for the Twins this season. Frankly, his bat off the bench has been pretty good find. I'm not saying this will necessarily continue, but entering Sunday, he was hitting .306 with a .338 on-base percentage, and of course that slugging percentage is what's been really valuable. He's slugging .514 entering Sunday's matchup. So I like kind of the second-level thought process there, not just looking at righty-righty, looking at maybe getting Vargas in the lineup and switch him around to the left side. A lot that went into that. But you could also make the case Eduardo Nunez is maybe just the most qualified on the roster right now to be the designated hitter. What that says about the roster, I don't know, but hard to argue with Eduardo Nunez getting the start there. That'll do it for this 5 Thoughts video. Head over to 1500ESPN.com and put together a story on Shane Robinson and his daughter who's dealing with a serious medical condition in Boston right now with the family, while Robinson sticks with the Twins. If you remember, he went on the family medical emergency list in mid-May. Now we know why. Shane shared a great story. I was happy to be able to tell it. That's posted on the website right now, 1500ESPN.com. And as I mentioned at the jump of this video, Touch 'Em All podcast is tonight. I'm actually heading over to the podcast studio right now to record the latest episode with Phil Mackey. So get that on iTunes. Go to iTunes, under podcasts, search Touch 'Em All. You'll find 1500 ESPN's Twins podcast every week. We record them pretty much every Sunday evening without fail. So subscribe to that so you can get that sent to you without having to go do all that extra work tracking down podcasts and stuff. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for coming to 1500ESPN.com. Until next time, I'm Derek Wetmore. The hardest part of the video is saying your own name. I'm Derek Wetmore. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.